work on, there are different types of challenges. Now, whenever I'm there, I'm working on any content, obviously I also get distracted a lot, because there is, again, now when we talk about online distraction, so there are different social media platforms are there. Then there are my emails are there. Then maybe I have some other work. Now you can open your WhatsApp also, and Snapchats are there. So there are different types of ways that you can get distracted. So what people do, basically, they switch off all the online platforms, or maybe they switch off their internet, and then they work. Okay, if your research is done beforehand, you don't need any more research. So people just close or switch off all the online platforms. Okay, and then they work. So this is a way to eliminate all your online distractions. Okay, next is, when we talk about, there is something called as for writers, there is something called as feast and famine cycle. Okay, especially for the freelancers. Now, what is this feast and famine? Feast is where you have lots of work. Okay, you will have 2 to 3 projects with you. Okay, or maybe more than that, and you will work on that. Then there will be a time where you will not have any type of work. Okay, you will start searching for work. This is called as a feast and famine cycle. Now, this is actually a circle. Okay, sometimes you will have feast and famine. Sometimes you will have feast, that means you have lots of projects. Okay, where you will work like crazy. Then you will not have any other work, so you will panic. Okay, you will have that panic. Oh my god, now how will I don't have any work. Maybe my writing is not good. You will get all these negative thoughts in your mind, thinking that your work is not good, that is why people are not approaching you. So this is a very, very normal cycle, common cycle. Okay, this affects every freelancer. This has affected me also. Okay, so if you're going to work as a freelancer, these things are bound to happen. Okay, so that time, whenever you are during in that panic stage where you don't have any work, that time, work on your own content. Maybe you want to start your own blogs, maybe you want to start your own book, maybe you want to start some other type of thing where you can upskill yourself. Okay, maybe think of different ideas, how you can approach different people for work. Okay, start cold emailing everyone, start cold calling everyone who you think they can give you work. If you get a good work, ask your, maybe some of your colleagues, your friends, they might have some work that you can do maybe for less cost, or you can do for free because they're your friends. Okay, but it will help you to market your skills. Okay, you can do that also. So please don't panic if you are in a situation as a freelancer, if you have a situation where you have no work at all. Okay, now there are, for full-time writers, maybe you are working full-time in an organization. Okay, or maybe you are a freelancer also, but you have lots of work. You have different types of projects, you have continuous flow of work. Okay, because you have different types of clients who give you work continuously. Okay, now, for those type of writers, it becomes a bit difficult to take out time to write for their own content. Okay, so it is very important that you start writing for yourself. Okay, you can write, say, journals, you can write say, blogs. Okay, you can write some type of short stories that you can publish on your own platforms. So you can publish those stories. Maybe you want to write poems. Okay, you want to write, say, 50-word content or 100-word content on the things that you want people to tell, you want to tell other people. Okay, every day keep it in your habit to write some content for yourself, any type of content that you are interested in. Maybe you're writing a book. Okay, so yes, I understand writing the whole chapter might take you a lot of time. Write a part of the chapter. Okay, write one scene, maybe write one topic under that chapter. Okay, so that is where you need to take out time for your own self. Okay, for your own writing. See, this might happen after some time. Right now you might be thinking, no, if I'm getting work, why should I need to write for myself? Okay, but there will come a time where you will be writing for others, and you want some content to be written under your name. Okay, there is something called as ghost writing. Ghost writing means you will write for other companies, you will write for other individuals, but the content will not be published under your name. It will be published under other people's name. Okay, I am a ghost writer. Okay, so there will come a time where most of the writers are ghost writers. Okay, now there will come a time where you will you will feel that some content, if I am writing good content, if people are actually telling me that my content is good, then I should write for myself also. Okay, but then you will not be in a habit to write for yourself. Okay, so that is why starting from, as soon as you start writing after this course, or maybe in between, whenever you start writing, whatever type of work that you are doing, give your writing some time. Okay, write for yourself. Okay, now structuring your content, it is very important. Okay, so how you're going to structure your content, let us understand that first. Now let us work on the structure. When we are talking about structure means structure for any type of content. Okay, so that means how your content should be, what all things you're supposed to include. Okay, first thing is introduction. So if you're working on on a blog, so it will be introductory paragraph. If you're working on books, so it is going to be introductory chapter, introductory, so maybe it can be a prologue. So anything that you, epilogue. So anything that you want to start your content with, that is your introduction. Okay, now here, what all things you are going to include? So first thing is, you are going to include here. Now, first thing is, in your introduction, by the name itself, introduction, that means you are going to introduce the topic. Okay, then you are going to welcome your audience. Okay, welcome your audience here, and then you are going to give something called as an industry scenario. Okay, now when we talk about the introduction, okay, how are you going to introduce? You're not going to introduce like, or like, this is the topic, now we are going to talk about it. Now this is not how you're going to introduce. Suppose I'm talking about leadership. Okay, so leadership, my H1, I'm going to write first my H1. Now I'm going to talk about leadership. So now here, first thing is, I am going to tell people about, so there are many organizations that require consistent leaders, but they are quite difficult to suit the requirements of the organizational culture. Okay, so now what happened here? I am trying to give a industry scenario to my audience here. Okay, so currently, that means industry scenario means currently what is the situation. Okay, industry scenario means not only the industry means current scenario, current situation. Okay, so what is the situation right now? That is what you are going to include in your H1. Clear for everyone now? Now, next is your body. Okay, in the body, you are going to include your H2s, your H3s, H4s, and so on. Okay, you are going to include your bullet points. Okay, then there are going to be different types of paragraphs. Okay, so all these things you are going to include here. Here in your paragraphs, now again, you can work on some examples. If you want, you will include some examples. These examples can be real life examples, okay, or writer made. Okay, then you can include some types of statistical information if it is required. Okay, then you are also going to include something called as the transitions. Now, what are transitions? Okay, now these transitions are not always, it is not compulsory to include. Transitions are always included whenever you are working on a informational or educational type of content. Okay, and also during your articles as well. Okay, because in articles what happens, you don't use much of H2s and H3s. Whenever you're reading an article in a newspaper or on a magazine, you will not see many journalists using lots of H2s and H3s. Okay, so what they do, rather, they, whenever they are starting with a new subtopic, they start with a new paragraph. Okay, now let us work on the transitions. What are transitions? Now suppose if I am, my H2 is, one of the H2 is say types of leadership. Under this I have different H3s. So these H3s can be what else? I can talk about same transactional leader. Transactional leader. Then maybe another H3 is, under this is transformational leader. Then I can work on centralized leader. Okay, then I can work on, sorry, H3 is decentralized leader. Okay, now here, after this, my next H2 is going to be, say, styles of leadership. Okay, now I am going, under this also I might have different H3s, or maybe I might have H4s also under this. Okay, but now what will happen, the last H3 and under that the last line, I am going to tell people, or I am going to introduce my next H2 here. Okay, that means I will write something like this. Say maybe I will write, say I'll write a U. Okay, now we have understood the types of leadership and its importance. Let us let us discuss the styles here and get an in-depth information about how these leadership styles affect the productivity of the businesses. Okay, so what I did now, in my this H2 itself, I introduced my next H2. So now my audience will know, okay, fine, this is what I am going to read next. Okay, so this is called as transitions. Is it clear for everyone? Understood how, what are transitions? Now these are not always important to to include transitions. It is up to you. If you think that transitions are important, people should know, or maybe this is a more of an informational or educational type of content, then you are going to include such transitions. Okay, clear for everyone? Now let us work on the last part, that is our conclusion. Okay, now what are you going to include in the conclusion? You are going to, first thing is, you are going to include a summary. Okay, summary or key takeaways. Okay, now in your summary, on your key takeaways, whatever you have discussed, you will include it in at least 2 sentences. Okay, Your conclusion, in that conclusion, your first part is in that paragraph, summary or key takeaways, and you will summarize them in not more than 2 sentences. Okay. Next is here you are going to give something called as the scope. Scope means you are going to talk about the future of the topic. That means the future for my leadership topic is, I can say, or I can tell this to my audience. We understand the importance of the qualities of a leader in our day-to-day life will help us not only in our professional career, but also in our personal lives as well. Okay, so now you can include something else also with this. So I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so this is how you're talking about the future. That means if you are going to incorporate all these things in your life, or maybe if you're going to use this product, or if you're going to if you're going to buy this product, or maybe you want to include these products or services in your life, so what will happen with you? Okay, many writers, they write, if you're working on a product, okay, you're writing something about a product, they will say, if you use this product, then this is going to change your life altogether. It will bring out the necessary requirements that you didn't even know that you needed this type of product in your life. Okay, so this is what you will work on the future, or you will give a scope of the topic or product or service in your content. Clear the structure of your blogs, your articles, or maybe your educational or informational type of content. We are not talking about the stories here. Okay, now when we talk about welcome means that you are going to introduce the topic. Okay, now when let us talk about leadership only. Okay, now here, now when you talk about the welcoming, you can either give a quote. Okay, you can give a phrase also, or sometimes people give a definition of the topic. Okay, so now in the definition, what will you include? You will include, say, leadership is a skill which makes the organizations work in an efficient way. A good leadership can take the business to greater heights and destructured leadership can break the efficiency of the business work. Okay, so now what I did is, either you can use a welcome note, that is where you will give a quote or a phrase related to it. Whenever you are using a quote of some some celebrity or some personality, please use their full name. Okay, then there will be, you can include a definition if you want. Now these things are not compulsory. Okay, you can include a definition, you can include, then what is compulsory is to include the this thing, the industry scenario. Okay, that is compulsory for you to add in your introduction. You can directly start with the with the industry scenario, or you can include a quote or a phrase, or you can include the definitions also. Okay, clear for everyone
So
now? In products like Lakme, say we are talking about lipstick. Okay, so now we can say that the industry scenario is women across the world have been using the lipsticks or lip stains to say what should we write, to create an attractive or bold look for their daily purposes. Okay, and you can include more about it. So I'm just adding something that came to my mind right now, but based on the research, you can work on more on this. Okay, so that
yeah,
is what you can, this is how you can work on the industry scenario. Or you can give a quote. So there are different quotes related to the lipstick or the makeup, or how, why women use lipstick. Okay, all these details you can put here in your introduction. Okay, your introduction, whenever you're writing it in writing a blog or an article, and your client or the company doesn't tell you the exact words, then your introduction should be in 80 to 90 words. I think I have already discussed this with you, right? So that is how you're going to include it. Clear? You can include more about it, because right now only few things came to my mind, so I added only one sentence, but please add more details to it. Okay, clear now? Okay, then you can now, this is a lipstick we talked about. Not here. In the next paragraph, you can talk about the Lakme lipsticks. Okay, this is, here we just talked about the normal or general lipstick. Now give a detailed description or maybe a detailed information about the Lakme products. Okay, clear? That will be an introduction only. Introduction, you
okay.
can include 2 paragraphs, because 80 to 90 words are there, 45 to 50 word each paragraph. So you can talk a bit, one more sentence, you can give one more sentence, 1 or 2 sentences here, and then talk about Lakme lipsticks, because you have to introduce the brand name also now in your introduction.
Correct.
So first you are going to give a general information about the product. So if it is a air purifier, so here you will give details about the air purifier. Then here you will use the brand name. Okay. Now there's something called as managing deadlines. Of course, if you're working as a freelancer, okay, deadlines are very, very important. First thing is, whenever you are conversing with your client, make sure whatever deadline, now suppose today is what, 11th. Okay, today's 11th Jan. Now today, if you're conversing with your client and that client tells you that I want a 3000 word content by the end of the day. Okay, accept only if it is possible for you. Never ever increase your deadlines after you have committed to it. Now suppose if you take, okay, fine, I'll do it, I'll finish all the 3000 words by the end of the day, I will give it to you. Okay, but now it is not possible. Okay, you might not be able to do it, so you will tell your client, sorry, I cannot do it, I will do it by tomorrow. It will say that, okay, fine. So in the beginning itself, okay, the client gave you the option, asking you that I want the by the end of the day. For the client, every next step was based on the content itself. Okay, now they had to design the content, they have to create the multimedia for the content, they have to publish the content, now that content will get marketed, so everything is based on some timelines. Okay, you are the first part of that timeline. If you are delaying it, then everything will get delayed. The client at the beginning, obviously the client cannot say anything to you because you're already working on it. Okay, now the client will never come back to you because client understands that you will not be able to keep up with the deadlines. Okay, this is very, very important for the freelancers. This is, I'm telling you from my personal experience in the beginning, because see, I never had such type of classes. We never had such things, people to tell us what to do and what not to do. Everything we have learned is through our experience. It's only now, in the beginning, I lost 2 of my clients like this because I could not complete the deadlines. Okay, even I had this industry experience also. I had around 6-7 years of industry experience. After that, I started working as a freelancer, but still, because that pressure was not there on me. Whenever you're working in an organization, the senior's pressure is always on your head. Now when you start working as a freelancer, you are your own boss, so that pressure goes. So that time you think that okay fine, yaar kuch nahi hota, main to ek permission le lungi client se and I will work. Okay, the client did not tell me anything, but it never came back to me. Okay, though my content was good, everything was good, they gave me a good feedback also. In that, they never mentioned the deadlines, but I later, after some time, I understood that why that client did not come back to me, because I did not commit to the timelines. Okay, now suppose if your client says that okay 3000 word by the end of the day, and you know that it is not possible for you to do it. Okay, you can say I cannot do it by today itself, let me give you by tomorrow end of the day. So what you did is you told your client what is possible for you. Now the client will decide the next step based on that timeline. Clear? So always try to manage and keep your deadlines. Okay, even if you're working as a full-time writer in an organization, you will get a lot of things to do. Okay, you will not only work on one type of content, maybe because an organization, they have their own work also, they have their clients works also. Okay, so you will work for the company also, you will work for their clients also, you will work for internal communication, you will work for external communication, you will write for their their research papers, their white papers, you will write for their internal meetings, team meetings and everything, you will write for their social media platforms. So you have so many things to do. Please manage the timelines. Okay, manage your day, that is very important. Now what happens whenever I don't have morning classes? So my morning classes starts from 8 to 10. That time my day goes a bit, a bit lazy type of day. I instead of starting my day from 8 o'clock in the morning, I start my day from 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so there is a gap of 2 hours. So I understand that okay, I have to work on that. I, instead of 10 o'clock, at least from 9 I have to start my day. But because nobody is there to pressure on me, to put any pressure, so that is why my day goes a bit slow that day or a bit late that day. Okay, but still I manage my deadlines. Okay, in any way, by hook or crook, you have to manage your deadlines if you have committed to it. Okay, yesterday I was working on this on a social media calendar for a client, and they gave me a deadline by 5 o'clock. Okay, because they wanted to show it to their boss who's sitting in New Jersey. So they wanted to show that calendar to their boss at 5 o'clock. Suddenly I got a call at around 1:30 saying that we want that calendar now itself, which is not possible. Okay, I told them very clearly that you have given me a timeline of 5 o'clock. I will give it to you maximum by 3:30. Okay, so this is how things, you are supposed to do all these things. Understand your own working, because you're not working as a freelancer, you're not working for one client, you might be working for 3 or 4 clients together. Everybody is going to give you a deadline. Clear now for everyone, for every type of work. Okay, even if you're writing a very short content also, for that also they are going to give you deadline. Clear? Okay, then now isolation and loneliness, that is obviously going to be there, because writing is a very, very boring process for many of us. Okay, sometimes even I also get a lot of, frustrated that I'm sitting alone, my family sitting outside, I'm sitting alone and I'm working. Okay, especially during the holidays, during the weekend time. Okay, now that is why you have to understand that, whenever you're writing, write it whenever you can, but it is going to be a very, very lonely process. You have to sit in your room, and you have to work. There is no distraction allowed. Even if you have family around you, the family cannot disturb you, because you are working on a pace. Okay, if by chance you lose that pace, it will be very difficult to come back to that pace and restart your work. Okay, so what I advise you is, give yourself some some time in the day. So for example, if you're starting your day at 10 o'clock, so 10 to 10:30 will be now, the settling time for you. You will check out, okay, these things I have to do. You will create a list of work that you have to do, your professional work, also your personal work also. You will create a list. Okay, now after that, give yourself some, say you have to write 1,000-word content. Make sure that you finish it within 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so say maybe if you're starting your work at 11 for that content, so by 1 o'clock it should get over, along with the research and the writing part. Editing, then you at 1 o'clock take a break, take 15 minutes break, take half an hour break, whatever you're comfortable with. Come back and then edit your work. Give us time difference between your writing and editing. Okay, finish your editing, take some type of time of break, and then start your editing part. Okay, editing might not take you more than 15 minutes. Then start on some other work. Say maybe you want to go and eat your lunch, then go and eat your lunch. Okay, so this is how decide the time that you want to give to a particular content. And in between also go walk outside, because obviously sitting in a room in front of the system will be, will be very boring. Go talk to your friends, your family members, or go outside, take a walk, or do anything that you think is a break for you. Okay, now so there's something called as, now many people, they're talking about something called as procrastination. Okay, you must have heard that many videos are there, how to not do any procrastination in your life, and think positive. All these type of videos are there. And now why is that? Whenever you're working as a writer, you as an artist, okay, writers are also called as artists. These painters also, photographers, designers, writers, there's something called as the block. Okay, the mental block that we usually get. In a day you might get 2 or 3 times of types of blocks. This happens with me also. I also sometimes I don't get any ideas to write. Okay, in a day it happens twice or thrice with me. Okay, so it is something where your brain is asking for some type of break. Give yourself some break. During that break, do not give any type of negative thoughts to your brain to think about. Okay, do not think. That is why break means keep your brain, take your brain from your work to anything that you enjoy. Okay, I like talking to my mother. Okay, so whenever I'm on a break, I, at least for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever time that she can give me, I go and talk to my mother, I go and talk to my sisters. Okay, so that is what is, it helps me to unwind myself, give myself break, give my brain some break. I go and walk outside. Whenever my daughter is about to come from the school, I go at least 10 minutes early front of my gate, and then I wait there, I look around the things. So it helps your brain to unwind. Okay, during that time, do not think any type of negative thoughts. Clear for everyone? Okay, see, this is what I was telling you, a writer's block. Writer's block is basically, many writers, they think writer's block is actually a mental condition. Okay, but people like me, writers like me, we always think that it is a time where your brain is asking for a break. Okay, maybe new ideas are not coming to you because you're not looking for inspiration. Inspiration means go do something else. Okay, you go for a walk. While you're walking, you will see something and you will write something on it. Okay, when I was suffering from corona, I was just sitting in the room, closed in a room, and I didn't have anything to do. Okay, though your my body had some energy, but still I was so bored just looking on my phone. It was very, very boring. How long will you check your social media platforms? Okay, then what I did, I started writing a poem on an almirah, that was in front of my bed. Okay, I started writing a poem on almirah and I posted it on LinkedIn and everything, everywhere, and I got good comments on that, decent comments. Okay, so this is how you can get inspiration everywhere, anywhere. You just have to look outside. Now, see, obviously things are going to happen, things that you like, might, things that you like, maybe I like red color, but you don't like red color. Okay, these differences are always going to happen. Get the hang of it. Maybe my content that I wrote, that is really good for 10 people, but not for the other 10. Okay, they might give negative comments to it, but the other people, they might give positive comment. So this stage is always going to be there. No matter what type of, you become a personality, you become a big personality, that time also people are going to judge you. Okay, so these writers, Jeffrey Archer, Sydney Sheldon, they have their fans and they have the people who really don't like their writings. Okay, same with Abdul Kalam also. APJ Abdul Kalam, there are many people who love him, but there are people who hate him from the core of their hearts. Okay, you might see, if you search about him on the Google, there are people who have given documents where, they have shown that APJ Abdul Kalam cheated, and I don't know how much true it is. I really don't know about that. I just read all those things. So these things, Saloni, are always going to happen. Okay, you should have that confidence. Now, if I have written that content, I like it, so you will publish it. You will publish means you will post it on your social media platforms, or maybe you will create a blog. If you keep on thinking that people might not like it, this is going to happen, that is bound to happen. Okay, so don't think that people not like it. There are people who might love your content. Clear?